Hi, I'm Heather, and this is the knitting update number 1. So it is dark here. It is 5 o'clock. This is not my preferred time to do this, but it is the only time I had today, and I really wanted to record something to upload it today. I'm wearing the Roomy Raglan, which is a free pattern by Jules or Julie Efterfield, I want to say. You'll find it on Ravelry as the Roomy Raglan. I knit mine in, for the body, it was Noro Tennen and BC Garn Semilla Melange. So the Noro Tennen is like the smoke colorway, I want to say. I'm not sure. I've had it in my stash for a long time. The BC Garn is like a dark gray. And then because I didn't think I'd have enough of the tenon for all the ribbing, I did a contrasting color yarn, whatever, with Erika Knight British wool tweed. It's a worsted Aran weight, and then I held it with the BC Garn Semilla Melange, but in a light gray. And then all the ribbing was done, or sorry, all the bind off or cast ons were done in Briggs & Little Heritage, which is Aran weight, in Hunter Orange. And then I also knit my hat. I just finished this one yesterday, and it is the Purl Soho classic robed hat, and I knit it in Koigu Andra, which is like a brushed merino, which also has some nylon content, and it is a DK weight, and it's almost like a boucle, but not really, and it's really nice. I love it. I've been wearing this hat non-stop since I finished it, and it is super soft and lightweight. It also doesn't really feel like I'm wearing a hat, which is really nice. Yeah, but I just wanted to also update you. This is my first video, so whatever. I finished my socks. Sorry. These are, I test knit these for Jess Thompson or Knittin' Cnottan on Instagram. She's also on Ravelry, but I'm not sure if she's under Knittin' Cnottan or under Jess Thompson. But she has a lot of great sock patterns. This is the first one I actually knit, and it was, like I said, I was chosen to do the test knit, and I knit it in this beautiful Malabrigo Ultimate Sock. I do not know the colorway because I don't have the tag, but if you look up the sock or ultimate socks, there is only one that looks like this. It's kind of hard to see in this light. Yeah, it's a really nice, it's called the Gansey Sock Again. When the pattern comes out, I recommend buying it and knitting it. It is pretty straightforward. I think this was one of my first like all over cable knits, and it was fairly simple. It does use up a lot of yarn, so I thought I was gonna run out. And after, when I was almost done my first ball, first sock, I did weigh the yarn, and I thought I was gonna be playing yarn chicken, but then when I finished the second sock, I still had this much left. So I think like 25 grams, which is fine. I'm gonna use it actually in a colorwork sweater that I'll talk about tomorrow or later. But yeah, I started these so long ago, and the test knit deadline was, I think, January 6th, and you only had to knit one sock, which I did. Actually, I knit the size 5. These are the size 4. I signed up to knit the size 5, so I did one sock in the size 5, and then I did a pair in the size 4, which is more my size. I also wanted to finish these today because I wanted to participate in knitting challenge, which is 26 pairs in 2026. So if you knit one sock a week, you'll have 26 pairs by the end of the year. I don't know if I can actually commit to doing a sock a week, but I figured since I had already finished one, actually this one was almost finished, I figured I could at least finish the second one. I'm going to count it as, you know, they're both done in 2026. And hopefully, because I have 3 more active sock whips, I think I will use them to help me actually complete this challenge. So I'm not going to finish one of my active ones next. I'm going to hang on to it for like a time when I maybe have a bit more of a time crunch and I won't be able to knit 2 socks in 2 weeks. I don't know if that's cheating, but like this is an unofficial challenge, so who is holding me accountable? Just me, I think. I feel like I look like a ghoul. I have no eyelashes or eyebrows or hair, just so you know. I won't go into it today, but I have stage 4 cancer and I'm going through chemotherapy, infusion chemotherapy, like every week, or 2 weeks on, 1 week. Anyways, it's like a whole thing. And I wasn't supposed to lose my hair, but I did. And I also lost my eyelashes and eyebrows. So that is why I look like this, I guess. But I don't want to talk about it too much today. But I do want to show you. So since I finished that pair of socks, I did immediately cast on a new sock so that I can hopefully finish it this week and then finish the other one next week. So the weeks, in my opinion, because New Year's was on a Wednesday, or New Year's Day I guess was Thursday, so I'm counting the week like Thursday to Thursday is a week. So I did finish this a little bit early, I guess, but I'm hoping that will just help me complete this goal. So I already started this sock. I'm gonna show it. I'm going to show it again tomorrow because the lighting right now obviously is not great. I think this is fine, but it's not showing the colors of anything that well. So I'll probably show these again tomorrow, which maybe is a waste of time, but just so you can get a better idea of what the yarn looks like. And also I'm not going to talk about the yarn today for this one because it's not going to, I can't show it. It's not going to do it justice. The yarn is beautiful. It's hand dyed. And then I chose this sock pattern. I love doing cables, but I think for this challenge of doing a weekly sock, maybe a cable isn't the most achievable goal to do it all over a cabled sock. So I bought this pattern this morning thinking it would be a lot easier, and it's by Knitail or Derako on Ravelry and Knitail on Instagram. And they're a knitwear designer based in Japan. I want to say they're Japanese, but I don't know for 100% sure. And this is the vintage Lamp A sock pattern. I have knit one of their patterns before, and it was the Thermal T, which is a DK weight toe up sock pattern. I really liked it. So I was looking forward to sort of doing more of their patterns, and this challenge seemed like a good opportunity. And this sock pattern looked fairly straightforward while still being textured, so I thought it would be interesting enough to work on, but also maybe quicker than doing cables. And then guess what, there are cable, every other row you have to use a cable needle, so that kind of blew my plan or my strategy out of the water. But I will say this, it is a 4-row pattern repeat and it is super easy to memorize. That was my other sort of factor in choosing a pattern for this for today. And so, and also I started on this like later this morning. I also had to go out to go to an appointment. I did work on it in the car and in the waiting room, which I don't always do, but so I didn't work on it that much at home. Actually, I worked on it more when I was out, and I got pretty far. Like, this is really good for me for one day of sock knitting. So it is a fairly easy pattern, and at least it's easily memorizable. I don't have to refer to the pattern at all, which is nice. And the cables are not really cables. They're like these little chevrons. So this is where you use the cable needle. And I find that I have to use the cable needle on the one, but not on the other. And so you do this 4 times. So 2 out of the 4 I need the cable needle, and the other 2 I don't. And I know you can cable without a needle, but I'm too scared to do it, especially on a sock. So the fact that I can not use the cable needle for 2 out of the 4 is pretty good. But yeah, that is my knitting update for today. Check back, because hopefully I'll have another knitting update tomorrow. I also have other projects I'm working on, so it won't only be about this sock, but I will talk about this sock again tomorrow, and I will show it again, and I will talk a little bit more about the yarn, because I think the yarn is super pretty, and like I said, this lighting is not doing it justice. So bye for now.